My extra juicy skirt steak fajitas, and I'm gonna show you guys a cool, easy trick that'll give you that sizzling wow factor you can do right at home, starting with some great skirt steak right here. Jeffrey,
beautiful.
you love this stuff.
I do.
I love it. When you go to the butcher, when you go to the grocery store, it is imperative you ask for outside skirt steak, not the inside skirt. Outside is way more tender, way more marbled, just succulent, beefy, but the inside skirt can get a little chewy. So ask for this, right? But of course, like you take that bite of that sizzling fajita at a restaurant, and every bite is juicy and full of marinade. So let's start with the marinade here. I have some olive oil. We're gonna add to this little restaurant secret to a marinade that you wouldn't expect in a Mexican dish, soy sauce.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So, some fresh lime juice. Jeffrey, can you help me with my peppers right there?
How do you want to cut?
Poblano, just in a nice thicker strips, right? Not thick, but like, you know, half-inch, quarter-inch strips. Cut a poblano and a nice red bell pepper and some onions. I'll ask for you in a bit. So we got the soy sauce in there, some cumin, some chili powder, some fresh lime juice, and some salt. We're gonna whisk this up. I got a zipper top bag here. We're gonna pour that directly in the bag, but we are gonna reserve some of this marinade for a little trick later, okay? And that has the oil in there and everything. Remember, the soy sauce, just a little bit. The rest can go in a zipper top bag. Now we're gonna take that beautiful outside skirt steak, and this has been cut into thirds, so it's just easier to manage, right? This way you can kind of cook it appropriately, but look at that beautiful marbling. Into the marinade, about 30 minutes in the fridge, up to 2 hours, okay? Move it around in that bag. All right, get the air out and just make sure you move it all around. Put it in the fridge, and what you wanna do after marinating it, again, 30 minutes, 2 hours, take it out, dry it, put it on a wire rack sheet pan in the fridge for up to 2 hours to help dry it out. That's another restaurant secret trick. That's how you get that char on there without a grill, without charcoals, all done in that cast iron. But that's what it looks like after drying out, after marinating, right? We're gonna hit it with just a little more salt. I have a cast iron skillet going right here, piping hot. You can see the wisps of smoke coming off it. Then you know it's ready. We're just gonna hit it with just a little salt, and it is going right in that pan. On the top side down, that's gonna be the driest. So in these 3 sections right here, press it down once and just let it rip for a couple minutes, right? We'll do 2 at a time here. Keep that one for later. Again, a whole skirt steak can feed 4 people at least. That's the beauty of this, because we're fortifying it, we're bulking it up with these lovely peppers, which I'm gonna throw in there. So this is the leftover fat and the rendered fond and all that stuff in this cast iron right here. So what we're gonna do is throw the onions in there. Those beautifully, look at that, beautifully even poblanos. And a lot of times it's just red bell peppers, green bell peppers, yellow bell. I like the flavor that the poblano brings, a little extra spice.
You cook the steaks in that pan, right?
Yes.
And that's a leftover fat in the steak.
That's a leftover fat and oil and, you know, all the little juicy fond bits, right? So we're gonna hit this pretty hard. We want a nice char on there, but you don't wanna like turn them into mush, right? You want them to have a little, you know, little chew to them. And this is what it looks like. I'm gonna turn that on. Is that on, Jeffrey?
I would turn on a little bit
sizzle
more.
platter.
Let's get that thing screaming. They look great, Jeff.
I got my sizzle platter ready to go. I got my rested steak, and we're gonna cut this. Now, a lot of times you go to the restaurants, and they cut it with the grain, which I don't like. You shouldn't do that. Even though it's kind of, if you follow the striations of the meat, it's like almost counterintuitive to cut a fajita like this, but you should cut it like you would a strip steak or a ribeye. So what I like to do is cut those long sections in half, and then kind of just go diagonally. And you want to cook this to medium. I think medium rare skirt steak can get a little chewy. I think medium is perfect.
Agree with you, Jeff, for once.
But you gotta have that char on there.
Want me to turn that for you, Jeff?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
All right, look at that. Can you see that?
Oh. This is a shout out to my favorite Mexican joint.
I love Maria's.
My neighborhood called Maria's, and the Braglia boys that's been running them for 30 years, and their mom, Maria. And it's like the typical place where you can't even hear yourself talk half the time because of the sizzling hot fajitas coming out of the kitchen. I love it. All right, that's looking very good, right? We're gonna season that.
So colorful, right?
Right? Little salt and pepper. Our steak is sliced. And that's all you want. You want some life in those peppers still, some color.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Look at that.
Man, you gotta be...
All right, it's time. It's time to plate. Now again, if you're serving for a table at home, by all means, serve it directly in the cast iron here. No need to.
Well, look
but if
at
you
them
got these
sizzle,
little
baby.
You see them sizzling? Now you asked, how do you get that sizzle to happen right before they serve it, right? Because it's always super piping hot. There's a little trick, and that's why we reserved that marinade a little bit ago. But I like to kind of keep it just like that. Right?
Oh,
so the
baby.
peppers are still cooking on the bottom, but you're not overcooking the meat. Since we rested that, we're gonna shake up that leftover reserve marinade. And right before we bring it to the table, we hit it with the sizzled sauce.
Ready to go, Jeff? Oh. Let's go!
Coming through!
Oh, we got a little table-side service.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I expect a large tip.
Ooh, sizzle,
Steak fajitas?
sizzle.
Yes, steak fajitas, we ordered them.
Beautiful.
Ladies, please do not touch the sizzling hot cast iron skillet. It is
Don't
very
say.
warm.
I love the process of building the
Okay.
fajita when you get it.
Yep. Hit me
All
with
right,
some jalapenos.
Yes, of course.
Bon appetit.
You gotta have the, either whole or sliced pickled jalapenos and carrots and onions.
How is that?
Can I reach over?
Tastes exactly like any Tex-Mex style restaurant. Well, here we go.
You cut it right. So when you bite into it, you get what you bit off. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not the entire strip of the fajita. I know my friends in San Antonio would tear this right up, man. It's tender, it's juicy, and it's sizzling.